Do you guys remember the Justice League?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
We're talking the cartoon, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
The whole concept, right? If you are a millennial, you may remember the Avengers. So, the Justice League was made out of, Superman and Aquaman, Wonder Woman, like, whatever. If you were in the Justice League, and the Justice League did nothing but business, sales, and marketing, what would be your superpower? So, Superman can fly, Aquaman can go underwater, Wonder Woman can, I think, disappear or invisible, like every other woman, and I'm more like Batman, right? I don't have any superhero powers, but I know lots of technology gadgets.
Gizmos, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I am. Chris, who are you, and why?
That's a darn good question.
That's
Woman had the lasso of truth.
Mm.
That's yeah.
So
think of business and sales and marketing and tell me who you are.
Well, I'm thinking that. Oh, so wait a minute. So this is who I am. What is my special power today?
Yeah, what is your superpower?
Oh gosh.
Which is not fair to Steve because now Steve is thinking about it.
It's awesome. I like this game.
Yeah, my superpower is to wait 30 seconds while Steve answers his. No, I would say that my superpower is to be reasonably good at a lot of different things, and that's why I do well at startups. Because at startups, you have to be a jack of all trades. And I know I've done a lot of jobs. I've done sales and marketing and operations and all sorts of things. And so I'm really good at being able to multitask and cut through the bullshit and understand what's important and get the important stuff done when there's too much stuff to do.
So you're like a chameleon of startups.
Chameleon of startups.
I never thought about what you just said, that people in startups are more a jack of all trades, but a master of real none, one particular thing, right? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. In a startup, you have to be able to do 17 different things. So you have to be able to read a contract, and you have to be able to read a customer in a meeting, and you have to be able to write reasonably well and be willing to take the garbage out.
I really, really like that. So, if you and I were in business together, we would be able to do things in a wide variety of spectrum. I like that. I really, really like that.
It's useful in a startup. It's not quite so useful in a large organization, because then you become a cog in the machine and you're doing the same thing again and again and again. And for somebody like me, I get easily bored if I just do the same thing.
You blew my mind today. Thank you.
Man, how do you even see? Now, how do I live up to that?
I don't know, Steve. Steve, I don't know.
I may be having signal problems.
Because it doesn't end here, right? Because there's another question coming after this.
Oh, gosh.
Steve,
all right.
What is your superpower? By the way, Steve, be nice to Chris, because the next question, you're going first.
Son of a... yeah, good. So, I would say my superpower is the ability to get to the right person to get in the door of a company and get the right meeting.
Wow. I wasn't expecting another good one. So you have the gatekeeper power.
Yes.
Well, is it a gatekeeper power, or is it just to identify the right person?
It's kind of both. You got to identify the right person, and you got to get through the gate.
Tell me about that.
I think it's right. I mean, finding the right person, it's easier, becoming easier and easier, I think, to find out who the right person is. But I think the trick is the gates are getting harder and harder and harder to get through, right? So you've got to know the right path to get to the right person to get the meeting, right? I think it's also something that's important with a startup, and why I've been good at startups, right? When you're a startup, you don't have big name cachet or some of the other connections that you need to break into some of these larger companies to get in and get some business, right?
Can you give me an example of that one?
Let me see if I can give you I'll try and give you a real good example. Well, I think one of my customers there in New York City is a great example, right? Where I knew how to get to the CIO of one of the divisions. That CIO got me to the CIO of the corp, right? You get the meeting, right? You're gonna knock it out of the park, and then you get the business. So, right, when you're competing with the bigger guys. I'm not going to give a customer name, but
No, I know who he is.
you know who it is.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for those are two great questions. But it's interesting that you think you still work for a startup, Steve.
Yeah, it's not quite a startup as it is so much, but our line of business that I'm working for is a growth part of our business, right? So in that sense, we're kind of starting it up.
Okay. So here comes the next question.
Well, wait a minute, Marco. You didn't answer the first one.
I told you I was Batman. I don't have any real superpower. I am Batman.
No, but explain how Batman is useful in business.
So I wasn't ready to answer this question.
Turnabout is fair play.
That's right.
So I would think that my superhero power would be relationship sales. So I think I've said so enough time now that I don't have to say it for the rest of the week. As I said, I wasn't ready to answer this question, but here it is, okay? My superhero power would be to be able to be customer-centric. To me, in sales, and specifically the sales that I do, there's nothing more important than having the trust of the customer. And if you don't want to be friends with the customer, you will not be able to do business at the level that I do. You can be lucky, right? But I'm moving that. I'm not selling the Onion or the iWatch, which sold more items than the Android ever did. I'm selling things that cost millions and millions and millions of dollars and are not a one-time hit, right? So it's almost like a marriage. I'm marrying my customer, right? And if you don't want to be married to this person, you cannot do business with them. If they sense that you don't like them, or if you don't like them, it's not going to happen.